Love Trump or hate him, criticize him all you want. Could you imagine for 1 second that Kamala was the president right now? Could you imagine if she was the decision maker right now? I know so many of you hate his guts. You cannot stand him, but you cannot say that you would feel so much safer under her as president than Trump.
We all just take a second to imagine the absolute circus we'd be living in right now if Kamala Harris were president while Iran is out here lighting fireworks like it's the 4th of July. I mean, picture this. Kamala's in the Situation Room, spinning in her chair like it's career day, going, like, we should really consider de-escalating this with empathy.
I don't care what anybody says. Trump bombing Iran is a lot more effective than what Kamala would have chose to done. She would have showed up, lied about her Iranian heritage, did a weird Iranian accent, and then her little cackle, thinking she was going to relate to them. Yeah. It's definitely what I voted for.
Why all of a sudden Kamala Harris is in Maga's mouth? Who hurt you, Maga? It is the way Maga keeps on referencing Kamala Harris to each and everything. Hello, Maga. Have you seen Candace Owens lately?
What does he think? We're stupid? And the people online that are trying to pretend that we are the ones betraying Trump for holding him accountable to his promises that he made to us when we voted for him, when we encouraged other people to vote for him. You're pretending that we're the ones that are problematic? This level of gaslighting that's taking place, you got Laura Loomer out there saying, screenshot every tweet that's against Donald Trump. Let me tell you something, sweetheart. You better start capturing Donald Trump's tweets that are going out right now because they seem pretty against Donald Trump's ideas of yesteryear.
I am very much convinced that every Maga right now who opens their mouth and compares Kamala Harris to DJT, they're ready to the system.
Not only do I feel safer with Trump as president in a situation like this, knowing that he's not just going to jump the gun, he's going to think this out very critically.
Yeah, because, Trump has a very long history of critical thinking and thinking things out to their logical conclusion. Like, who could have possibly predicted the position we're in right now after Trump declares the U.S. is leaving the Iran nuclear accord? Who would have thought? Not to mention his personal non-governmental life, right? Where he had a long history of making very strategic decisions that led to him bankrupting casinos. Of course, I would feel safer with Kamala Harris in the Oval Office. She was the Attorney General for the state with, at the time, the 5th largest economy in the world. During her tenure in the Senate, she served on the Homeland Security and Governmental Affairs Committee. She served on the Senate Select Committee on Intelligence, literally being briefed and making policy decisions based on intelligence gatherings from our intelligence community. The amount of knowledge and depth of her experience that she would have brought to the presidency is almost second to none. Meanwhile, the current Director of National Intelligence, Tulsi Gabbard, is floating the idea of creating a video version of the presidential daily brief that's made to look and feel like a Fox News broadcast because Trump doesn't read. This article was written May 31st, and as of that writing, Trump had taken the PDB, the presidential daily briefing, 14 times, or on average less than once a week since his inauguration. How on earth can you say, honestly, that you feel safer with Trump behind the Resolute desk when he has no idea what's going on the world stage? The White House has publicly admitted it. How do you expect him to make strategic, well-thought-out decisions when he doesn't take in the information necessary to make those decisions? Because remember, the only reason that we are even in this situation is due entirely to Donald Trump's lack of a capacity for logical thought progression.
We all just take a second to imagine the absolute circus we'd be living in right now if Kamala Harris were president while Iran is out here lighting fireworks like it's the 4th of July. I mean, picture this. Kamala's in the Situation Room, spinning in her chair like it's career day, going, like, we should really consider de-escalating this with empathy. Sis, this is not brunch. This is international warfare. Meanwhile, she'd probably call up the National Guard and make sure they checked all of the diversity boxes before responding. Because God forbid we protect America without a committee meeting first, right? Let's be honest, this is the same person who couldn't manage the border or her own word salads for that matter. And now they would have been expecting her to stare down Iran like she hasn't been missing from reality the last 2 years? Please, if Kamala were president, the Pentagon would be hosting mindful retreats. And our big retaliation plan would probably look like a TikTok dance battle with NATO. De-escalate with jazz hands, people. Say what you want about President Trump, but at least under him, nobody tested America like this. They knew that he would drop a tweet or before they could even think. Trust me, The world is a whole lot better with a president in office who doesn't need a cue card to remind you and tell them to say, I am the president of the United States.
Everybody on earth knows that I don't like Trump. Everybody on earth knows that Kamala should have won, in my opinion, obviously. But this quote, I've seen it everywhere, and I cannot find where she said it. If somebody sees this video, please feel free to stitch where she said it, because I don't think she said it. I could have made this prediction, I feel, but I just can't find where she said it. Hook me up.
Boy, he thought he ate with this one. He pulled this one out his back pocket like, I got something for y'all, I wish the insults would at least be witty, at least be, intellectually not stale. Like, razzle dazzle me. So let me just say something, sir. Number one, if it were that easy for women to advance in their careers by just strapping on some knee pads and getting to then every woman on this planet would have advanced, okay? Every woman would be living the life she wanted to, because, some of y'all men are just that goddamn simple. Number two, she has a bachelor's from Howard University, and not only political science, but economics. Not only that, UC Hastings is where she got her law degree. What the fuck do you have while you want to sit up here and talk about a woman hitting her knees? Men of this type love to do this shit. See, they gotta reduce a woman to something so they can have an excuse to say shit like this or not respect her, period, right? And it always involves sex. Even with Hillary Clinton, y'all was saying the same bullshit, and she might not be my cup of tea, but she's intelligent. You can't stand Kamala because she's everything you're not, sir. She has achieved everything in her life that you haven't.
Well, this is some terrible news for Donald Trump. Some of his own fans are starting to turn on him as he embraces the idea of going to war with Iran. Like, for example, conservative commentator Candace Owens just said Donald Trump just completely fractured his base, and he did it for the very neocons who minted the Never Trump movement. Truly unbelievable. This guy said in a now viral tweet, F it, if Trump takes us to war, I'm done with him and his administration. I voted for no wars, cheap gas, no taxes, cheap groceries. Maha, what of these things have actually happened? I'm pissed. Newsflash, buddy, you got played. And in replies to Donald Trump on social media, people are losing it. This guy said, Trump lost it. I thought Trump cared about relationships. Clearly something is wrong with him. This guy said, you're gonna throw away your entire presidency over a war with Iran. Sam said, very disappointed, we don't want this.
I don't care what anybody says. Trump bombing Iran is a lot more effective than what Kamala would have chose to done. She would have showed up, lied about her Iranian heritage, did a weird Iranian accent, and then her little cackle, thinking she was going to relate to them. Yeah, it's definitely what I voted for.